Abstractionism, another group of artistic styles, emerged at the same time as the Expressionist movement. It had the same spirit of freedom, expression, openness that characterized life in the 20th century, but is different from Expressionism in certain ways. This group of styles was known as Abstractionism. Abtra- Abstractionist movement arose from the intellectual points of view in the 20th century. In the world of science, physicists were formulating a new view of the universe, which resulted to concepts of space and time. This intellectualism was reflected even in art. While expressionism was emotional, abstractionism was logical and rational, involved analyzing, detaching, selecting, and simplifying. In the previous centuries, works of art were a reflection of one way or another, outside world. In 20th century abstractionism, natural appearances become unimportant. Artists reduced a scene into a geometrical shape, patterns, lines, angles, textures, and swirls of color. The resulting work ranged from representational abstractionism, depicting a still recognizable subject, to pure abstractionism, where no recognizable subject could be discerned. Grouped under abstractionism are the following art styles: Cubism, futurism, mechanical style, nonobjectivism. The Cubist style, or the Cubism, is derived from the word cube, a three-dimensional geometric figure composed of strictly measured lines, planes, and angles. Cubist works were therefore a play of planes and angles on a flat surface. Among the Cubists was the Spanish painter sculptor Pablo Picasso. In earlier styles, subjects were depicted in a three-dimensional manner, performed or formed by light and shadow. In contrast, the Cubists analyzed their subjects' basic geometric forms and broke them into series of planes. They are resembled these planes, tilting and interlocking them in different ways. In addition, the art of the past centuries had depicted a scene from the single stationary point of view. In contrast, Cubism took contemporary view that things are actually seen hastily in fragments and from different points of view at the same time. This was reflected in the depiction of objects from more than one visual angle in the same painting, the Bull's Head, in Picasso's Guernica. In human figures as well are often represented by facial features and body parts shown both frontally from a side angle at once. This gave a sense of imbalance and misplacement that created immediate visual impact. It also gave Cubism its characteristic feeling of dynamism, energy. To this day, variations of Cubism continue to appear in contemporary artworks. Futurism. The movement known as Futurism began in Italy in the early 1900s. As the name implies, the futurists created art for a fast-paced, machine-propelled age. They admired the motion, force, speed, and strength of mechanical forms. Thus, their works depicted the dynamic sensation of all of these, as can be seen in the works of Italian painter Gino Severini. Mechanical style. As a result of futurist movement, what became known as the mechanical style emerged. In this style, basic forms like planes, cones, spheres, cylinders all fit together precisely and neatly in their appointed places. This can be seen in the works of Fernand Léger in mechanical parts such as crankshafts, cylinders, blocks, pistons, brightened only by the use of primary colors. Otherwise, they are lifeless. Even human figures are mere outlines rendered purposely without expression. Non-objectivism. The logical geometric conclusion of abstractionism came to a style known as non-objectivism. From the very term of non-object, works in this style did make the use of figures, even representation of images. Works in this style did not make use of figures, even representation of figures. They did not refer to a recognizable object or forms in the outside world. Lines, shapes, and colors were used in a cool, impersonal approach aimed for balance, unity, and stability. Colors were mainly black, white, and the primaries, red, yellow, and blue. Foremost among the non-objectivists was Dutch painter P.A. Mondrian.